don't know who needs to hear this, but you should reread that book. A lot of people ask me how I annotate in such great detail and how I end up with so many tabs, but the truth is, this isn't on the first read. My first read through of a book is never as detailed as my second, and it is never as detailed as my third, which is why I'm a huge believer in rereading. I do the same with TV and movies, where the first watch through is usually just to expose myself to the plot, the characters, and soak up as much as possible, whereas the second rewatch or the third rewatch will allow me to dive into the technicalities of it, the cinematography, the framing, whatever. So my second read through of any book allows me to dive a little deeper, peeling back the layers of each character, their motivation, their psychology, and the events of the book. 2025 was actually a very big reread year for me. I reread The Brothers Karamazov, Crime and Punishment. I also reread a bunch of Jane Austen's novels like Emma, Persuasion, Pride and Prejudice, and I reread the second Bridgerton book ahead of the new season. You just get so much more value out of rereading something, and for those people who say that there's so many books in the world to read, that's why they don't want to reread, I actually want to make a case for rereading. I think rereading a book just sharpens your observational skills a little bit more, since you're more familiar with these characters, and it is very enjoyable to notice the things that you might not have picked up on the first time around. It also takes off the pressure from the first read through, since you can sit back, relax, enjoy the story as it unfolds versus revisiting it with a more analytical and critical lens. And honestly, I think that's key, especially if you want really detailed annotations and a book full of tabs. I'm not even done tabbing this from my read through, because you know the lay of the land of the book and you can dive into specifics and tie things together, since you already know how things are going to progress. It's also really cool to see how you've grown with a book. I've mentioned in a previous video that this second read through of The Brothers Karamazov allowed me to relate to characters that I could not relate to the first time around, and vice versa. I hope this inspires you to reread your favorite books, if not to see how you've grown over time and how a book has grown with you.